Hello, everybody. Crazy Caps here. Finally making my long delayed 2024 collection video. So delayed, it is 2025 now. I have been wanting to make this video for a while, but since September, life has been a massive mess with me, and everything going on around here has compounded into making it take this long to make this video. Uh, but now seems like finally a good time to do it. I won't elaborate too much on the stuff in this video because I'm sure a lot of people will just search up game collection, see this, and don't want to know this random dude's personal problems. But essentially, a lot of health stuff with both me and family that is, for me, just I either don't have the time to make this video or I don't feel like making it. And so, yeah, but today, family's gone for a little while. I feel relatively okay today, so we're making it today. So we'll start upstairs here with my PlayStation 5 and 4K and Blu-ray collection. I don't think I've really gotten many new 4Ks or Blu-rays in the last year. I've basically just been focusing entirely on games. I'm trying to see if there's any like obvious ones I got in the last year. I think maybe Halloween Ends because me and Mom wanted to finish the Halloween trilogy. I think we got that one and watched that. And besides that, I think it's just the Mario movie since last time I did this, which of course is 4K. We saw this in the theater. Uh, I'm with the majority and thinking this is a pretty good movie. A little, there's a few issues with it, but I really enjoy this movie, and of course, gotta have 4K Blu-ray of it. Speaking of video game movies, Sonic 3 came out, and I've heard so much discussion on it on social media, and I unfortunately just haven't had a chance to see it. Hoping I'll be able to see it soon once it hits 4K. Buy that and watch it that way because my health problems, everything going on, just meant I couldn't make it to the theater to watch it. But let me focus on video games. The main thing. Last video I did, I didn't have a lot of PlayStation 5 or PlayStation 4 games. I think it just had basically just the ones I initially got for it. But I've gotten a number since. Let me start with the PS4 because I don't think I had any of these last time. Bloodborne, the Souls Trilogy, and Elden Ring. Yeah, I got into FromSoft games last year. Quite interesting because it started when I was, online, just on Twitter, and some deals site reposted that Bloodborne was on sale for like $10 on Best Buy. And I was like, I might like these games. I might try them for $10. What the hell? And I got it, and then I played it, and I got hooked. That is basically how I can describe it. I struggled quite a bit with it. Father Gascon, in particular, took me a number of hours to get past, but once I did, and kept going through the game, I got better, and yeah, I've now played like basically most of them. I played through all of Bloodborne, played through all of the Dark Souls trilogy. I only haven't played Sekiro, excuse me, said that wrong. And I'm currently playing through Elden Ring, the PlayStation 4 version on PlayStation 5 because From Software does not know how to optimize their video games. And for some reason, the PlayStation 4 version runs better than the PlayStation 5 version. That doesn't make any sense, but yeah, so it's been a while since I last touched it, though. Currently, I'm around, I think it's Royal Knight Loretta's the last boss I did. I'm just after that, I was doing some side stuff. So I'm still pretty early in the game. The thing that intimidated me about it was the length, and yeah, this is kind of why, because I haven't touched in a while, and I'm worried I'll forget shit when I go back to, it's a whole thing, but I'm having fun with the game so far. And besides that, I got Immortals Phoenix Rising, super cheap. I got it for like $5 at Best Buy. Katamari Damacy, I owned that game on Switch a while ago, and due to circumstances, I don't have it there anymore, so I wanted to rebuy that. I figured I have the PS5, might as well get it there. Because an interesting thing, Katamari Damacy is like a 30 FPS game, like on everything. I'm guessing it's something with the PS2 code, meaning it can't be made to run at 60. So when it's games like that, I really don't like getting them on Steam. 30 FPS on PC just rubs me especially wrong. I couldn't tell you why, but it just does. So it was between Switch and PlayStation. I figured I might as well get PlayStation because those trophies. And I like stuff like that, so got that. And I got Need for Speed Hot Pursuit Remastered there because I, not too long ago, finally played through the entirety of Burnout 3, and that got me kind of in a racing kick. So I got a few racing games. I'll get more into that once I talk about Burnout. What else we got? Tearaway Unfolded, one of the exclusives I was interested in the platform. I haven't played it yet though. And Super Monkey Ball Banana Blitz HD, which I got for like $1, and it was like a okay 5-hour Monkey Ball game. Nothing special, but I had a good time with it. And then there's all the PS5 games I got, which, of course, Demon's Souls. Of course, going through all the Souls games, we got through Demon's Souls 2. I think it's a very good remake. I kind of wish they did a little more to change some of the rougher elements of the game, especially the Man-Eater boss. The fact they didn't make any AI changes to that fight is unfortunate, because it's not good. But yeah, it's a fantastic remake. I think Demon's Souls as a game is kind of more okay, but yeah, Bluepoint did their job with that game. Astrobot. For anyone who follows me very well, you already would have seen that I put that as my #1 game of 2024. I'm assuming most of you don't, though. Yeah, surprise, surprise. I'm really into platformers. The Game One Game of the Year. It was my favorite game of that year. Very, very good 3D platformer. And honestly, my biggest justification for having this console right now, because most of the stuff I initially bought it for is getting ported over to PC, and I'm like, I don't regret the purchase because of stuff like Astrobot, and because I never had a PS4, so there's a whole collage of PS4 games that I haven't played that I'd like to try out. So I'm getting used out of the console very much, especially recently because of the health issues. I'm not going to elaborate, but they made me be out here way more, using this console way more. And it's been nice, so it gets a lot of use. I'm trying to see, is there anything else Persona 3 Reload, Prince of Persia. Those I got for Christmas, so haven't played them yet, but obviously heard they're very good and want to play them. So, and Shadow of the Colossus. Played through Eco with the PS3 version. Want to go through these games since the new game got announced, and figured I'd get these ones done. So played Eco. Now I need to do Shadow of the Colossus on PS4. Alright, well, I'm sure there's more I could talk about with some of those games, but I don't want this video to be too long. I mean, the last collection videos were quite long, and I'm already nearly at 10 minutes, so without further ado, I'm going to head downstairs for, well, the main event, where most of the stuff is. See you there. Alright, we're downstairs, and before I get over to the main shelf, I figured I'd start here since it's a new addition. The handheld / overflow shelf, kind of. The reason for the kind of on the overflow is because I have so much shit that there's nowhere near enough room on those shelves over there for all of it. And so I have some of the overflow over here and random garbage down there. Yeah, I really need more shelving. But this is also noteworthy because something neat that happened in between this and the last collection video is that I found some shit that was missing. If you watched that last collection video, you'll know that I mentioned that I lost like a lot of my GameCube games, a lot of my 3DS, whatever. Yeah, I found all that. It was out in the garage. Yeah, so these are all my 3DS cases, all of my original 3DS cases from when I was a kid. So, for example, this is my original copy of Super Mario 3D Land. And this is, I mean, most of these, all but one of these 3DS games are just my original copies. The original case is everything, which is super cool. And there's not a ton here. I don't really collect 3DS. I don't like collecting handhelds as much. I don't like using them as much. But there's a lot of cool games on this system, of course. And there's actually a number of games I've gotten rid of over the years that I don't have anymore. Sonic Boom, Shadow Crystal, Sonic Lost World, Paper Mario Sticker Star. All because I didn't really like those games, along with Mario Party Island Tour. And I also at one point had Animal Crossing New Leaf and Pilot Wings Resorts. And I can't remember why I got rid of both of those, but I did at some point. But I did play all of them, a lot. But these are my 3DS games. Kirby Triple Deluxe was one of the later ones I got. I think I got that Christmas 2016. Played a couple years back. It's a very good Kirby game. We just mentioned Dark Moon. Recently got a remaster on the Switch. I'd like to pick that up, but not for $60. Yeah, being able to play that on HD on a console would be very nice. It's just charging $60 is ridiculous. Mario and Luigi Dream Team, played through that. It took me a long time to get through because that game is super bloated and the pacing's real slow. It's a really fun game besides that, but it's like a 40-hour game and it really shouldn't be. Paper Jam I never got through just because I didn't find it that interesting. I don't have a ton of motivation to go back and play it because there's other Mario and Luigi games I need to get to before that one. I want to get to more. I mean, in general, there's a lot of games I'd rather play than that one. But I still have it in case I ever do go back to it. One of my 2 copies of Mario Kart 7, I had to get another one at some point for some reason. I don't remember why. But yeah, this is... I mean, I have it. I played it a lot back in the day. I don't know if I really want to play it much these days, though. It's just... Mario Kart's one of those series to where, with the exception of, like, Double Dash... I don't really see much of a point in going back to the old ones because the new ones, to me, they play basically the same. They have more content and they're online. So it's like, why do I need to go back to Mario Kart 7? Why do I need to go back to Mario Kart? Yeah, so there's a couple of exceptions. DS because the single player, I want to get to that at some point. Double Dash, of course, I'd love to have that because, it plays very differently. But besides that, I'm pretty good with 8 Deluxe and I'm sure I'll have a good time with new Mario Kart when that comes out for the Switch 2. New Super Mario Bros. 2, I had to re-get that one. I had my case. I think, actually, this is my original case for New Super Mario Bros. 2. But for whatever reason, I didn't have the game anymore. I don't know why, but I didn't, so I had to re-buy New Super Mario Bros. 2. Now, this game gets a lot of flack, but the series of 2D Mario gets a whole lot of flack, but I grew up with them. I really like them. And this is a really good game. I'd like to replay it at some point. I 100% this back when it was new. Haven't played it really much since, so I'd like to do that at some point. The one Pokemon game that I really tried to get into, the problem is the timing was awful because this was Christmas 2016. Switch came out not that long after. So I only put a few hours into this back then. I enjoyed what I played of it. I feel like I, would like this game. It's just... I don't like playing stuff on the 3DS these days, which, yeah, that don't help. But, I mean, it's a really good game. From when I played of it, of course. So, do need to get to that at some point. Sonic Generations. I got this for Christmas one time. This game also gets a decent amount of flack for just being like a kind of thing, but I played the shit out of this back in the day. Like, I don't know if anyone remembers, but there's like 50 missions that you have to spend like play coins on or something. I did all 50 of those missions. I did everything there was to do in this game. I think the only thing I never did was like get all the S ranks and stuff, but I played the absolute shit out of this, and I think it's a pretty okay game these days. And of course, Mario 3D Land, a classic. It'd be nice if Nintendo would remaster that one. And Ocarina of Time 3D, I got the Nintendo Selects version. This was another 2016 pickup, and I wasn't super into old Zelda, so never really fully got through this one. I'd like to at some point. I think I got to like the Zora area, if I remember correctly. But it's been a very long time since I last touched this, so. And then this is basically a completely fresh DS collection. All of these are games I had to buy. Partners in Time, my favorite Mario and Luigi game. Granted, I've only fully played through like 2 of them, but I definitely like this more than Dream Team, excuse me. And from what I played, I mean, I like this more than Superstar Saga. I mean, I never finished that game, but I played a good amount of it. And I really like the darker, story of this one. I like the, character. I mean, I just really like this game, okay? I know this one's a bit controversial, but I really like Mario and Luigi Partners in Time. I had to pay a good amount of money for this one. But I'm really glad to have this. The Mario and Luigi game I do want to get to is Bowser's Inside Story. I played a little bit of this years ago, but never fully played it. Didn't get it. I mean, I got the cartridge a while ago, but I didn't have a case, so I just recently got the case. Need to play that one. Mario vs. Donkey Kong Mini Land Mayhem. I got this one relatively cheap. These games don't go for that much, and this is one I had as a kid, so I'd like to play through it again at some point. I like those games. I wish the minis didn't have to like completely overtake the series, and we just never got a classic, like one like the GBA again. But I mean, these are still fun games. And New Super Mario Brothers. I mean, what is there to say about New Super Mario Brothers? It's kind of like the de facto DS game. It's the one basically everyone has, and played the shit out of it as a kid, of course. Does not want to go back in. There we go. I got 2 Phineas and Ferb games here. And the only reason I have this first one is because I found that listing that was like these 2 in a double pack. I don't really care about the next one, but I mean, the price was good, and I figured, hey, might as well. I think Billy and Cliff had this as a kid. I don't know if it's any good. I mean, honestly, I don't know if either of these are very good, but but the reason is, like, I had this other one as a kid, Across the Second Dimension. I know I played through it. I don't remember. I mean, well, I remember liking it. I don't know if it's good, but I remember thinking it was good, so that'd be an interesting one to go back to. And it is made by the same people who did another one I actually do know it's good. God, this shelving makes me very uncomfortable. It's not very stable. There's a reason this is a side shelf. Actually, let me skip ahead real quick to this one. Elena Scorpianus. This one I had as a kid. I played it a good amount as a kid. I know I finished it as a kid too. And I actually think this is pretty good. I think it's a pretty good SpongeBob game. Surprising. You wouldn't expect one based on a pretty special on the Nintendo DS to be any good, but from what I remember, it's actually pretty good. And internet reception on this one's been good. I know Antu covered it, and he thought it was pretty alright. So, yeah. Do need to play that one again at some point. I know I tried to do like a Let's Play of it at one point with like a DS emulator, but only did one part of that back in the day. And lastly, Scribblenauts Collection. Unfortunately, I think this is replacement art. I don't think this is like the actual art for the game, but I know a lot of people don't like these compilation things. I do. Save shelf space, better value. And this one's actually very interesting because the original Scribblenauts was updated a little bit. Because when it first came out, it was one of the major complaints of it was that you had to control Maxwell with the stylus. You couldn't move with the D-pad. You can move him with the D-pad in this collection. They changed that. I haven't heard anyone talk about that, but you can move with the D-pad in this version. It's a little clunky. You can tell the game wasn't like originally meant to work with that, but I really like that. I never had these games as a kid. Billy and Cliff did though, and I remember I really liked them. I wanted to have them, so now I do. Need to play through them at some point, but have them. So need to get through them, and you know what? This can wait. This can wait. So that's basically everything here. I got some Game Boy games, but I think I had all these before. I mean, this Mario vs. Donkey Kong case is one I made myself a number of years ago. I don't think I had that, and I don't have the game, but I'm going to wait to talk about Mario vs. Donkey Kong because, well, you'll see. And then some Disney Movie Club stuff, which unfortunately shut down last year. So we kind of bought some stuff, you know, what we could get near the end. I got the Kim Possible DVD sets. Never watched the show, but I've heard good things. I'd like to watch it at some point. Flight of the Navigator, Parent Trap. Here's the two Mom wanted to get before they went away. Watched Flight of the Navigator. I thought it was okay. The Blu-ray video quality is very mediocre. Extremely mediocre, but it is what it is. And I've never seen the Parent Trap, so maybe I've heard some things about it. And basically everything else here is just additional shit that doesn't fit on the other shelf, like the Home Alone DVD set. Don't have any need for the first two because I have those on Blu-ray, but 3 and 4 I've never had anything other than DVD releases. They're not good, but I have a soft spot for 3 for some reason, so I kind of do like having that collection around. A random Tom and Jerry's Tales volume, some Train DVDs from when I was a kid that I have no memories of. Close Encounters, Indiana Jones, because I have the 4Ks of this, don't really need the Blu-rays of, yeah. And the Mario movie, the original Mario movie. So, yeah, so some stuff there. Nothing super important though. And then this is like my where I keep loose Game Boy games, but the only one I have is this one. No, I did not buy this. I just happened to stumble across it. And that's all we will say about Shrek on Game Boy Color. And then here is where I keep all of my disc-only games. On Wii and on GameCube mainly, but in general it's just my disc-only stuff. And I was missing this for a long while. I found it, so... a lot of these are the games that got put back in the other cases. I got the chance, so let's. I'm not gonna pull each of these out. I'll just kind of say what they are. The SpongeBob movie on GameCube, not a great port. I play it on the Xbox these days. This one, I believe, is Creature from the Krusty Krab, which is. There's some people that like that one. I don't think it's very good. I think it's way too handholdy. It's kind of boring. It's not that great of a game. Sonic Adventure DX. Rush with Love, we got that on the Xbox. And Budokai 2. I don't know why I have that one. Rayman 2. I have 2 copies of this on Dreamcast. And I only have 1 case, so the second one goes there. Sonic Shuffle, only have the disc. Bubsy 3D, only have the disc. Chicken, whatever. Chicken's, I guess, I'm just going to say Chicken Shooter. I got this with my copy of New Super Mario Bros. Wii, because I found it for a really good deal. I didn't want this game in addition to it, and a few others came with it, but the price for that was way less than it would have been just to buy New Super Mario Bros. Wii, so. But my original copy of Mario Galaxy 1, of course I have 3D All-Stars now, so I don't really need that a whole ton. And there's side B. It's a little clumsy handling this here. What's this first one? It's a Force Awakens soundtrack CD that I thought I lost, so I had to rebuy it, but now I have 2 of them. WALL-E on the Wii, Sonic Colors, Lego Indiana Jones 2, 2 copies of Just Dance 3, Super Mario All-Stars, and oh, what do you know, another copy of Lego Indiana Jones 2. Yeah, those Just Dance 3s and the Lego Indiana Jones 2, the second ones, I got also in that lot, so yay. Yeah, I mean, most of these are like my childhood Wii games, but a lot of them I don't have a whole lot of point of having anymore. Throwing them on something else, like a Lego Indiana Jones 2 on Steam, or Galaxy of the 3D All-Stars collection, stuff like that. But still glad I have these, that I found them, and that they are safely procured up here alongside my original Game Boy Advance, which I'm guessing Mario vs. Donkey Kong's in there. Well, now to move over to the main event. And here we are over at the main shelves. I'm gonna try to skip over stuff I talked about in the previous collection video. So if there's a game I, just skip over, I might have talked about in the 2023 or the 2021 versions of this video, in which you can go back and watch those if you want to see them. Or you can just ask in the comments, honestly, if you want me to reply about a specific game that I don't talk about. Obviously, I have a lot here. Talking about all of it would take extremely long, and this is already going to be a pretty lengthy video. So if there's anything I miss here that you want to ask me about, feel free to comment down below and ask me about it. But we're gonna start with a little Switch, which to think the system is on its way out. The spines have always kind of annoyed me, how tiny they are. It's not very readable. But Cruisin' Blast, I don't think I had this last time. This is an arcade racer that Nintendo owns, but it's not published by Nintendo. It's by Raw Thrills, because they're the developers of this game. Have this because I played the arcade version some time ago, and I had a lot of fun with it. So I figured, hey, let's get the Switch version. I still haven't really played it, though, unfortunately. Disney Classic Games was here before. I think Dokapon was here. Everybody wanted to Switch. The only reason I have this is because it went on sale for like $10. And if you follow Nintendo games this generation, you know getting a first-party Nintendo game for $10, not very common. So that's the main reason I have this. I don't know how much I really enjoyed this game. But $10. That is the reason. I have not played it yet. So, pretty sure on that. Mario Golf, Miitopia, Mario Kart 8, Mario Party Superstars. This one's a recent addition. Recently bought this during the Mario Day sale, so that tells you how recent this is. Like, basically just got it. And, it was on sale for $30. I skipped it when it initially came out. Not because I didn't want it, just because I guess just didn't want to pay $50 for it at the time. But yeah, this is a remake of the GBA game. I've had that for a long time, but I've never finished it. And this adds like a few new worlds to it, a few new levels. So I wanted to get it, but had to wait, and got it for a sale. So pretty happy with that. Let's see, what are the next? Pikmin. Got Pikmin 4 and Pikmin 1+2. Pikmin 1+2 I got when it released, because I never played the classic Pikmin games. I wanted to play them and wanted to replay 3, in the lead up to 4. But 4, for whatever reason, they decided to release physically in July, and they decided to release 1 and 2 in September. So I had to skip 4 and then, wait for September to get this. And I played both of these games to death. I have played both of them twice. Both 100% completion. I really like these games. I really got into them. So, Yeah, and of course I replayed Pikmin 3 on the Wii U, and I'm a few hours into Pikmin 4, but kind of stopped really enjoying it. It's just got distracted with other stuff, and now it's so close to Switch 2, and the visuals in this are a little rough, so I'd like to kind of wait till Switch 2 before I really dive back into that one. There's another game coming up that's kind of a similar story. Got Splatoon 3. Missed out on this one initially came out, but I got super back into Splatoon 2, so I wanted to get Splatoon 3. I haven't played it much, of course. Figures, but do want to play more of it. So I really do like Splatoon. I'm not great at it or anything, but I really do like Splatoon. 3D All-Stars I talked about before, but I just want to mention I find it very funny that this game is supremely expensive now, because this game sold over 10 million copies. It was super readily available for quite some time. Why is this like an $80, $90 game or something? It's ridiculous. But yeah. And of course, Mario Party Jamboree. If you've watched me for a while, you know I love me some Mario Party. And of course, Mario Party Jamboree got day one, and I have played the absolute shit out of this game. I have 60 hours in this. I have played through the story mode. I have done Toad's Island Factory. I've done a lot of the side modes. I played every board multiple times at this point. I really love this game. It is one of my favorite Mario Parties. There's a few issues I have with it. I wish there were more mini games. There's just not quite enough. But besides that, I really love this Mario Party. It's really, really good. So I've had a blast with that one. That was my number 2 game of 2024 there. And Mario RPG Remake, I think, is new. I got this for Christmas in 2023. And I played through it, and I had a good time with it. It's a pretty solid beginning to Mario's RPG endings, though I think the story is a little basic compared to, what some of the grander ones would do later on. Just didn't grab me the same way something like Thousand Year Door does, but it's still good. It's still good. So of the Mario RPG Trinity, almost dropped my phone. That would not have been good. Of the Mario RPG Trinity, that is the one I got because I never finished that one. I had it on Virtual Console on Wii, but I never finished it. So that's the one I got. Skip Thousand Year Door because I don't want to pay $60 for a game I already have that runs worse. Even though there's a lot of things that are really cool about that remake, it eats up at me, honestly. That one, because I really do want it. I don't want to pay $60 for it, but. Yeah, and then Mario and Luigi Brothership I skipped because, I want to play some of the other Mario and Luigi's, and have a feeling I'll probably run better on Switch 2, so I'd rather wait, see if I can get it for a little cheaper. But yeah, so Monkey Ball Banana Rumble. I got super into Super Monkey Ball recently. Played, I've owned Monkey Ball Deluxe for years. You can see it in, I think, both of my last 2 videos on my collection. But I didn't really fully play it until this year. I had a lot of fun playing through the story, playing through challenge modes, and I played some other Monkey Ball stuff too. Of course, the Banana Blitz HD, played that first. And I wanted to get the latest Monkey Ball game because I've heard it's actually pretty good. And I literally just finished it yesterday, so I can tell you it is pretty good. There's some slightly disappointing things with it. Mainly, there is no challenge mode, there's no lives, so it's kind of lacking a little something from the older ones. But if you want fun level design, if you want an actual challenging Super Monkey Ball game and something that'll last you a good amount of time, Monkey Ball Banana Rumble will do that for you. It's a little funky how it comes into this legendary banana case where it has this art book kind of sticking out that kind of makes it annoying to get in and out. But this is a really good Monkey Ball game. Definitely the best since the classic ones for sure. And lengthwise too, it's good. I played Monkey Ball 3D, and that game is you can beat it in under 2 hours, and there's like not much else after that. This one took, the main story was like 3.5, but doing all the extra story stuff was like 9 hours. Like the game ends at like the halfway point, and then there's just like another entire half of the game to play. So if you like Monkey Ball, get this game. Get it. You might want to wait a little bit to see if it comes out on other platforms, because it runs okay on Switch, but there's definitely some funkiness, especially the multiplayer. The multiplayer runs like absolute garbage on this. So if you want to wait for it to maybe get on another platform or Switch 2, that makes sense. But whatever you do get this game at some point. And then besides that, we got Tears of the Kingdom, which kind of similar thing to Pikmin 4. I played a decent amount of it. I've done like the Sky Dungeon, and that's so I played a decent amount of it, but this is another one where I kind of want to wait till Switch 2, because this is one of a small handful of games, I think, where it actually, like, the small, minuscule performance differences between the launch V1 switches and the V2 switches are enough to make this game run mostly okay on Switch V2s, but it will drop a lot on Switch V1s. It's just like right on that line, I guess. So yeah, since I'm rocking a V1 launch Nintendo Switch, this one is a little rough to play. So yeah, Switch 2 will probably be a pretty big improvement for this one, so I kind of want to wait to finish this game on that. Here's all of my NES games. Not a whole lot of them, and not exactly the quality selection. Like, Mario Duck Hunt was like the obvious one. Paperboy, like, that's good. What the hell are these? I think I got a lot of these from, like, a friend I had in school, in middle school. I haven't seen him in years, but he had some of these, and I got them from him. And I have not played any of these. I don't have my NES hooked up. I just have them here. I know this one's not good. This one I'm a little curious about, because it's weird from the little bit I have played of it. And Total Recall, I think, is also not good. But Paperboy's a classic. But I have that on Midway Arcade Treasures. So. And then PS1, I think I mostly went over all of that in the last video. But this big boy I didn't. Battleship Surface Thunder. Once again, if you watch my channel for a while, you know I am like one of the 5 people in the world who has played this game. And I think it's really neat. It's very unique. And I never owned the game, actually. As a kid, it was like just installed on the computer we had. I'm guessing whoever gave the computer to us like pirated it and put it on there for us or something. But never owned it. Finally do. And it's glorious, gigantic, unnecessarily gigantic box. And of course I have the actual like jewel case like separated from the box there. Not a ton of point in owning it. I just want to own it, you know? Alright, so move down to here. And I think I've gotten a number of Super Nintendo games since last time. Air the Acrobat 2 I've definitely gotten since last time. That one is unfortunate timing, because like not that long after I got that for like $60, it was announced to get a re-release for like $8 digitally, and that kind of stung. But I did play through it. It's a solid sequel to Air the Acrobat. I had a good time with it. And let's see what else we have here. Plock, I think, is also a new one. Heard good things about this one. It's a platformer. Got it for an alright price, and it's in good shape. Still need to play it, but I'm glad to have it. There's going to be a few here. I don't know if I had this one last time, but Indiana Jones' Greatest Adventures. This is kind of like if you play the Super Star Wars games, any of them, this is basically the Indiana Jones equivalent. It's good, but it is extremely hard. I mean, the continues are relatively generous, but I got stuck in like the minecart levels of Temple of Doom, and I haven't gone back to it in quite some time. I want to finish it, but just haven't gotten around to it. Also, if you're wondering why this is one of the games that is in this case, it is because this is actually a surprisingly pricey Super Nintendo game. It's like around $40, I think. It's odd. I don't know why this one in particular is so pricey. I mean, it's a good game, but $40 is good? I don't know. Speedy Gonzales, I think I talked about wanting to get this one last time. Well, I got it. And it's an interesting game. It is very, very Sonic-like, but the sprites are a little too big and the view isn't great. But I actually had an alright time with this one. I thought it was a fun little game. And for anyone who ever played that Sonic 4 hack for the Super Nintendo as a kid, that's weird and it's like red background, all that shit. It's based on this game. And basically that ROM hack is just a cut down version of this game with less levels, and it has Sonic in it. So if you have members of that game, memories, I recommend giving this one a shot. You know, obviously don't have to actually get the Super Nintendo card. You can just fucking emulate this on anything if you want to. The Acclaim is no longer around, and I mean, I guess this could get re-released theoretically because Sunsoft is doing some stuff nowadays, but I haven't heard any talk about this game coming back, so I think it's worthwhile if you're a weirdo like me who did play that as a kid and, you know, wants to experience what it was based on. Trying to see if there's anything else here. Yeah, I don't think I have these either when I did the last one. Tom and Jerry for the Super Nintendo. This is a game I emulated as a kid, and so I wanted to get the actual cart. It is a very middling game, is what I would say. Not great, but it's not awful either. And Tiny Toons Adventures Buster Bust Loose. This one's from Konami. It's supposedly pretty good. This one I got just because it was like in a lot of good, cheap Super Nintendo game videos. And I was like, all right, I'll get this one. It's a platformer. I've never watched Tiny Toons, but with Konami, it's a platformer. Sure. And, yeah. That's basically it. I haven't really played much of it. I think I've done, like, the first level in it. It's Konami, so it's not super easy. A lot of Konami games during this generation. I mean, kind of their thing. I think I had Mickey Mania last time. If I didn't, Box Genesis game, that's cool. All these N64 games I had. The GameCube games I had, but I did not actually have the discs in them. I have the discs now. These are all the GameCube games I had. I then lost the games for, but they had the cases, and yeah, now they're just for just an example. I'm not going to pull them all out, but Mario Party 6, which for some reason is like one of my pricier games now, Thousand Year Door dropped, so now it's Mario Party 6. It's like $90, but yeah, I actually have the game now. I have this like subscribe to Nintendo Power stuff, but not the manual for some reason. Yeah, I actually have these GameCube games now, but that's nice. And now it's getting a little trickier because it's down here. Rogue Leader I got recently. Well, not recently anymore. Was that in the last video? I think it was. I think it was in the last video, actually. And, yeah, here's the Wii collection. For some reason, Donkey Kong Country Returns looks like it's being blurred out. Got this the start of 2023 because I was playing all the Donkey Kong Country games, and of course Nintendo decides to remaster that in 2025, and I'm like, god damn it. Another one, Epic Mickey, that just got a remaster. Kirby's Dream Collection I got because I like Kirby. Haven't played a lot of those games. It's like the cheapest way to get them physically. Because you'll be surprised, a lot of Kirby games are actually very pricey. Like Dreamland 3, one of the games in that collection, is a very pricey Super Nintendo game. Very. So yeah, glad to have that. Still need to play it. My Sims Agents. I got that because I watched someone play it on a certain stream. And, you know, I guess I should plug it. Koi Jesus does a little charity marathon on Twitch every so often. And, someone I know played that game on it. I'd never seen it before, and I thought the game looked fun enough to where I was like, sure, I'll get it myself because it's like a relatively cheap Wii game. And Creature from the Krusty Krab, I got this on the Wii because It's a console I can actually play the disc of, and it's a weird thing. I don't like this game. I don't think it's good, but I think the waggle shit makes it a more interesting kind of experience than it would be otherwise. Even though the waggle shit's not good. I'm a weird individual, okay? And of course, Truth or Square, Super Mario Bros. Price is Right. You can tell the coloring's different on that one. Not great shape. You ever get a game just kind of like, because you feel like you go somewhere and you don't want to not get anything, and so you kind of just get something. That's the Price is Right here. It's not great. I have a weird soft spot for these, like, game show, board game, like video game things. I played a good amount of those as a kid, so there's just a weird soft spot I have for them, so I did want to get this one. It's not great though. We party, we play. All those Wii U games I think were there last time. I bought shit on Wii U. All those PS3 games I think were there last time. Alright, I did say I played through Eco on PS3. So yeah, I think that's basically it for this shelf. And here we are at the other shelf with all of our DVDs that matter and Blu-rays. I don't know how many of these are new since last time, though. Like I said, I haven't been buying a lot. I think Christmas Carol is new. Got that to watch at Christmas. Funny thing, we didn't end up watching it. I think that is it. I think maybe Kiki's Delivery. No, I think we had that. Maybe Porco Rosso is new. I don't know. Duel, I think is. That was the first Spielberg movie. I want to watch it because I'm interested to see Spielberg's first movie. Haven't watched it yet, though. Get Out. Heard that's a good horror movie. Oz the Great and Powerful. I think I got just because it was like a Disney movie rewards thing, so I got it for free. Watched that movie years ago. I remember liking it okay. It's been a long time. And besides that, there's The Last Starfighter. That's a mom movie. That's one I got for her. We watched it together. I think it's alright. It's a very good Blu-ray. And then, yeah, that is our Blu-rays. Our new ones since last time. Not a whole lot. Have not been buying a lot of movies, for sure. So here's our Xbox 360 games, and you'll notice not a lot of room for them. I don't have many. Quantum of Solace, Mini Ninjas, Wally, the obvious ones. I think all of these were here last time. But there is one new one, I believe. I believe this is a new one. If I can get squeezed out of there. Wheel of Fortune. This is like the Wheel of Fortune game to get. I mean, there's other ones that are probably okay, but like, this is the one. This generation's version of the Wheel of Fortune game, specifically the THQ one, this one's good. It's the only one to have Pat and Vanna and their voices. It's got all the sounds. There's some silly, goofy shit. I mean, it's not the most polished, perfect video game, but it is the best Wheel of Fortune video game, I think. And that's why I have it, because I like Wheel of Fortune, I like playing it, and yeah. So if you are interested in the Wheel of Fortune video game, go for this generation's version. Any of them are fine. 360, Wii, PS3, Wii U, they're all good. Probably go for, the one that, is most accessible to you. Unless that one is Wii U, because the Wii U one is pricey, and it might be worth just buying the Wii one since it's much cheaper. Well, at least this shelf's going quicker. So now, the original Xbox shelf. This used to be the Xbox and Xbox 360 shelf, but I have gotten so many Xbox games that there is no longer room for the 360 games, because I've gotten a few this year. Let me pick up the ones I've gotten. Burnout Revenge. I told you I got super back into Burnout 3, fully played through it. So, of course, I had to get Burnout Revenge. You might be wondering, why do I have the Xbox version instead of the 360 version? Custom soundtracks. That is the reason. Like, the reason. I mean, to be fair, it's also cheaper. So I got this for like $10, whereas the 360 version would have been like more like 16. So obviously that's the more desirable version of the game for most normal people. But I am someone who likes the custom soundtracks. I like hearing Smash Brothers music over my Burnout. And to my knowledge, the 360, it has custom soundtrack support, but the way it does it is less seamless than the original Xbox, so that is why I got the original Xbox version. And I've been having fun with it. I think I got like around 4 hours into this one. I'm definitely going to finish this one for sure. So, I really like Burnout. Then, going down the line, just got this one last night, actually. This was a sealed copy of Midway Arcade Treasures 3. And there's like the seal stuff. It's super blurry. There we go. Kind of. But yeah, the seal stuff's still on it. Yeah, this is a sealed Midway Arcade Treasures 3. Was sealed. I opened it, of course. Got it for like $12 on Mercari, so I was like, yeah, that's a really good deal. And I have this entirely because it features Hydro Thunder. The Dreamcast version is better, but it costs a lot more, and it's one of the games on Dreamcast that doesn't play well with the VGA cables. So I figured, hey, I'll just get the Xbox version, even if it's like a little worse. You know, it comes with more games, it's cheaper. You know, and I don't have to worry about stupid video cable stuff. Plus, it's also just on a console I like using more than the Dreamcast. So I don't have a lot of Dreamcast games, and you know, it's just an awkward one to use. So, yeah, got this for Hydro Thunder, and I'm glad to finally have it. Go back down the line, and is this my last one that's new? I think it is. Let me get it out. Star Wars Revenge of the Sith for the original Xbox. I have this on PS3. It's like a PS2 classic. But the PS3 is also a console I don't love using. And unfortunately, like, one thing that makes it more usable for me is being able to use like PS4 and PS5 controllers, mainly PS5 controllers in my case, instead of like the original DualShock 3 controllers, because I really don't like the controller. But I found this out recently when I tried to play the game with Billy and Cliff, and they don't work with PS2 classics. You have to use PS3 controllers. And so I've been wanting to get this version of the game for a while, because I like playing it with them. It's like a fun, like, Jedi battle kind of game. And that kind of sprung it for me, so I went ahead and got this. So we can just play with the better Xbox controllers and have an easier time and not have to fill it with the PlayStation 3. I mean, there is a campaign here as well that I'd like to try and get through at some point, but it's kind of beat-em-up-ish. I'm not super into beat-em-ups, so it hasn't been a high priority for me to get through the campaign, but I do really like the, two-player battle mode of this. Also, the internet is wrong on something. I will hopefully discuss this in a video I'm trying to get made, but the internet says this game is widescreen on the original Xbox. It is not. This is not a widescreen game. There is. I tested it very thoroughly. This is 4:3. Do my due diligence. I actually just noticed there is one other game I didn't have last time that I decided to go ahead and grab. Thrillville. I grew up with Thrillville Off the Rails on the Nintendo DS. And so I want to play all these games, and that's why I got this one. I got it really, really cheap. That you can notice the condition isn't amazing. That's why I got this for like $5 on eBay. Yeah, very cheap. So, had to make some sacrifices when it comes to the quality of it, but I got this whenever I want to try and play through it. And I believe that is it. I mean, there's a bunch of shit down there that just can't fit on the main shelving anymore. A couple of Xbox games, a few GameCube, some other stuff. A lot of the stuff I have down there is either games I don't really care about much or games that aren't very necessary to have on the shelf. Like my GameCube copies of like Pac-Man World 2 and Finding Nemo. Like I don't really need to have 2 copies of those games on the shelves at the same time. So yeah, that is basically it for my collection. I'm sure there is some shit I forgot to say. These are all unscripted, and I originally wanted to make this video like a year ago at this point, but it kept getting delayed and delayed and delayed, and until the point now where there's shit I probably would have talked about when I wanted to make this video originally that I just completely forgot to talk about. So yeah, hopefully I covered most of the points I wanted to get across. Hopefully I showed off all the stuff. I think in the future I'm not going to do these big, gigantic collection videos. They take so much time to make, as you can see with this video length and the last few that I did. So in the future, I'll probably just, whenever I get a new game, I'll do like a very short video on that one, maybe discussing why I got it, my thoughts before playing it, and maybe at some point in the future do a video on what I think. I don't know exactly how I'll go about it, but that's kind of what I want to do, because doing these, it leads to shit like this, to where I wanted to make this a year ago, and then I took until now to do it. So, and as I said before, if there's anything I didn't discuss in this video that you saw that you want to know my thoughts on, feel free to leave that in the comments below. Ask me about it. Because I'm sure there's a lot of shit that, might trigger that sort of desire in this collection. And obviously I have a lot of digital games as well. Making a collection video for those is a lot more arduous because of just how many I have. If you want to see the full list of games I own, I will put my Completionator in the description. For those who don't know, Completionator is a website where you can chronicle both your playthroughs of games and your collection of games. It's very nice. There's a lot of, it's a nice looking user interface, unlike something like Backlogger, which I don't like the interface on that. And also, you can easily import multiple games at a time, especially Steam. If you link your Steam account, it'll literally just import them all just for you. So it's the site I use to compile my collection mainly, and if you want to see every game I own digitally, whatever, you can look at my profile. I'll link that in the description down below. And if there's a game down in that you want to ask me about, you can comment that too. So glad I finally got this video made. Hopefully it wasn't a total mess. Probably wasn't as polished as the last 2 were, but it is what it is. Finally got it made. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you with whatever I do next.